study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, JoAnn Crone. Oh, welcome, my Lolas, to this fascinating episode all about teens. If you feel like you are butting heads with your teen and they won't listen to anything you say, this episode is for you. Also, if you don't have a teen yet and you're afraid because everybody's saying, oh, just wait till they're teens, is going to get so much worse, this episode is also for you. Because say right now, if you're in the teen years, you tell your teen to do something and nothing happens. So you remind them and then remind them again, and suddenly you're nagging. And the more you repeat yourself, the less they tend to listen. And it turns into this exhausting cycle where you feel ignored and frustrated and honestly, a little disrespected. And I want to tell you, the problem isn't even about respect, even though it's a little thing, which you're going to hear about today. And it's not that your teen is lazy or doesn't care. The real problem is that nagging actually trains your teens to tune out, and it's very developmentally appropriate for them. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about why teens ignore parents with nagging and what nagging is actually doing to their brain, and the teen behaviors that drive you crazy, but are actually very developmentally appropriate for them, and how to stop nagging, how to actually create a relationship with your teen where they listen to you and you feel respected. We're going to get into all of it. And to help us out with that today is Dr. Caswell. She is an adolescent psychologist, parent coach, and the founder of the Parenting Teens Academy. She's also known as the quote unquote teen translator, helping parents understand what's really going on behind their teens' behavior so they can move from constant conflict to real connection without yelling or shutting down. With over 20 years of experience and a PhD in developmental psychology, Dr. Cam has helped thousands of families navigate their things like attitude, anxiety, and emotional blowups. Her work has been featured on NPR, Fox, Newsweek, and Grown and Flown, and she shares practical real-life strategies with a community of over 275,000 parents online. And with that, let's get on with the show. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
I am thrilled to be here, JoAnn. This is fun.
I didn't even ask at the beginning. Should I call you Cam, Dr. Cam? How do you like to be?
I have a whole story behind it, but I go by Dr. Cam. And at first, it really felt pretentious to me to do that. But I'm going to tell you a little story, JoAnn, real quick.
Tell me.
You can cut this out if you want to. But after my dissertation, after I got my doctorate, I never used doctor because I felt very pretentious and that's obnoxious. And I was talking to literally a man, I'm going to just say it. And I introduced myself and he didn't give me the time of day. And then I took a pause, took a beat, and I said, I'm Dr. Cameron Caswell. And he literally changed his entire body positioning, looked me in the eye and had a conversation. And ever since then, I have used the damn doctor because I worked really hard. And if it earns me that much respect just from that one thing, I'm using it. So I use it.
Yeah, I have to say, how you present yourself, especially as a woman, sometimes I feel like you really have to stack your accomplishments at the beginning of a conversation for people to take you seriously.
It is true, especially I'm 5'2", so I don't have a lot of stature either. So, I come up and they're like, whatever. And it's interesting because as soon as you say that, people's demeanor completely change.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't have a doctorate. I wish I did. I have a master's degree. Still, people meet me. I'm 5'9", so I am tall. But they look at me and one of their first questions is you have a teenager? What did you have her? When you were 12?
Yeah, how old are you?
Right. I'm 44. Yeah, I'm 44. I'm I've been I know my stuff. And so usually when I have to introduce myself to people, I'm oh yeah, I started with a master's in education and, I have this community of all these things for people to be okay.
okay, you've got
Yeah.
credibility. It's hard sometimes. You got to be like, take me seriously.
It's hard, yeah. And speaking of being like miscategorized and making assumptions about things, we're going to talk about teens today.
Yes. So many assumptions around teens and none of them good.
No, and I know that your mission is to change those assumptions about teens. Like, tell me a little bit, like, what do you see people make? What do they assume about teens? And like, how do you want to change it?
Well, I think the whole thing is we get told stories about teens since we have a baby. Like literally, I can remember my daughter being little and people going, "Oh, enjoy it now. As soon as she comes a teen, she's not going to talk to you anymore. She's going to not like you anymore." And we have these stories told from the very beginning that adolescence sucks. And it's not that adolescence sucks, it's that adolescence, the kids suck. That they're difficult, that they're defiant, that they're all these things, that they're lazy, that they don't want to do all these things. The thing is, a lot of that is based in truth of the developmental behavior. It's developmentally appropriate. It's how we're interpreting that behavior that makes us angry about it, makes us want to nag it, makes us fear it. It's the misunderstanding of what's going on. So we're not going to change our teens because our teens are doing exactly what they need to be. We need to change how we see our teens and understand them because that changes the entire dynamic between us, which changes the whole experience of raising a teen.
It does. It
Raising a
absolutely
teen
does.
is like, I loved raising it. I mean, my daughter's 20. She's still technically an adolescent, but I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. I loved it too. And like my
Yeah.
daughter's getting ready to move out very, very soon. And my son is coming up into it. Although I'm not so sad about her moving out. I know she needs to experience this next thing.
I'm gonna tell you, it's big, but thanks to phones, like literally, my daughter and I have always watched Survivor together. We still FaceTime and we sync up, so we're watching Survivor together live on FaceTime. So
Yeah.
nowadays, it doesn't even feel like she's gone.
I know, like my daughter went on a 2-week summer, what was it? Camp, it was called. It was in New York City. But I felt closer to her then than sometimes I do when she's here in the house because she would voice note me and she's like telling me all these things that are going on. And so I'm kind of looking forward to it with all the phones and stuff available to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes
Well,
it makes it a lot easier.
it does. It does make it a lot easier. And I have to say, like, when you say that it can be fun parenting a teen, just to give everyone listening kind of like a little glimpse into the future if your teens aren't there yet, or what you can have as a relationship with teens. My daughter, her friends say that they wish that their parents would parent like me and my husband. And
Yeah, I get that.
the only difference is, yeah, you get that too? Yeah, because it's hard to like tell other people the difference when they have this perception of teens as like horribly wrong or like doing things bad. But I think the place it comes from is just a like kind of going at it with a mutual respect for each other, a respect for her and a respect for me. It's
Yeah.
all I think that's all that comes down to, honestly. But we're gonna dig into it a
I
little bit more.
agree with you completely. It is a mutual respect, and I think a lot of people go, "Oh, well, then you're just their friend." And what I find is my daughter has never seen me as she sees me as a friend, but she also sees me as mom, and she
Right.
defers to me and she respects me tremendously. One thing I love when she was little, we visited Tennessee and people use ma'am, right?
Mhm.
She picked that up. She was probably 13 or 12 or 13. She picked it up and has still used it. And she says, I love using it because it shows you respect. I
Mhm.
never once have asked her to do that. It's both ways. I've never once demanded respect from her. Never.
No, me neither. I've never demanded respect either, which comes to like a behavior that I see that is happening a lot in parents with teens. It's this kind of nagging behavior. It comes from a really good intentioned place. It comes from a place of being like, hey, I see you're struggling with, say, getting your homework done. I've been through this before. I've gotten my homework done. Here's all the information that I have about doing their homework. And why aren't you doing it? And then you see all this pushback from teens about it. And it's this constant fight. So, like, what is actually happening in the teen brain when we as parents come up and like start this nagging and trying to give out all of our info?
There's a few things going on. The first thing we really need to recognize, and I think most parents don't know this, which is why we do what we do, but during adolescence, around the age of 13, our brain starts going through this huge growth spurt, and it is now primed to connect. And this is where the prefrontal cortex, where we're learning how to problem solve and regulate emotions and think critically and all those things, we're now learning how to do that. So the first thing is many parents figure you're tall, you should know how to, we hear that you should know this by now.
Right.
We should know. So we get frustrated when they don't. The problem is they are learning that skill. So we have to first understand this. And when we learn, we suck at it at first, right?
So much so.
So first we've got to not get pissed off that they don't know a skill. That's like getting pissed off at your baby for not being able to walk right away. Like we got to understand that's a skill they're building. The second thing is we often have this fear that if I don't do it for them, it's never going to get done. And so
Very
we
true.
keep jumping in because we want them to do it our way. And like you said, I get it. We've done it before. We know the easier way. We know that, but that's not the point. The point is they have to learn how to do it their way. That's what connects the dots that they are trying to build in their brain. If we keep doing it for them, which includes nagging them, reminding them, solving the problems for them, we are taking away the opportunities that they need to be able to do that for themselves.
Absolutely. Oh, it brings back actually something my dad used to tell me when he got so irritated. And he's a teacher as well. But he's like, "Man, you just have to learn through the school of hard knocks, don't you?" And I'm like, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
That's
do, right? We do. And that's how we learned. We didn't learn because everyone told us what to do. In fact, we fought it when we were their age too, for the same reason. Teens are wired to seek independence. They get more dopamine from pushing us away, and they get the stress response when they are being told what to do. So their brain is literally wired to resist control and to try to do things on their own. This is not intentional.
You know, when you're just balancing all the things and somewhere in the chaos, you're still trying to figure out if your kids are actually getting their nutritional needs met. Yes, that was me. And honestly, that's how I found First Day, and it just simplified everything. Here's what got me. They actually make different formulas for toddlers, kids, teens, and adults. So it's tailored to your stage of life. My 13-year-old son isn't getting the same thing I am at 44 because what he needs and what I need are genuinely not the same. Finally, a brand that gets that. We're talking a blend of 21 organic superfoods and 9 key vitamins. No artificial dyes, no added sugars, nothing unnecessary. They test for over 200 toxins and have the Clean Label Purity Award. So I'm not second guessing what I'm putting in my family's bodies. It's just 2 gummies a day, which honestly makes it so easy to stay consistent. Over 1 million families use First Day, and they have a 45-day money-back guarantee. It just takes the guesswork out of it completely. For a limited time only, our listeners are getting an insane deal. Use code NGM to get up to 57% off at firstday.com. That's up to 57% off and a free gift with code NGM at firstday.com. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. Summer is almost here, and I have a whole list of things I want to do with my family. I just want to make sure our money is organized so I can say yes to the things that actually matter and not wonder where it went in September. That's the goal. Intentional spending, not anxious spending. That's where Monarch comes in. And here's what I need you to know right now. Monarch is the personal finance app that tracks everything: accounts, investments, savings goals, and spending. Get your first year of Monarch Core for half off, just $50 with promo code NOGUILT. And this is why I think it's so amazing. The AI weekly recap gives me a heads up on what's happening with my money before anything sneaks up on me. It flags spending spikes, net worth shifts, upcoming expenses. It's like a calm little check-in every week so nothing catches me off guard. And you can ask Monarch's AI assistant anything about your finances, anything. I literally asked it how much we spent on travel last summer, and it just told me. That kind of clarity is everything when you're planning ahead. Use code NOGUILT at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code NOGUILT. If you're a parent, it is so easy to get overwhelmed and you know how your own mental health always comes last. I felt that hard when my daughter was deep into competitive dance. 3-hour rehearsals multiple times a week, and in between, I was taking care of my son. I felt like a taxi driver running on fumes, and still trying to be present for everyone was a total no-go. Those are the moments where I really need someone to talk to. And honestly, those are the moments I usually let slip the most. I go to therapy and it has genuinely changed how I show up. It's helped me understand why I react the way I do, step outside myself in moments of stress, and let go of so much shame I didn't even realize I was carrying. What I love about Rula is that they make it so much easier to actually get that support. They're a healthcare company that partners with over 120 insurance plans, so therapy doesn't feel like this huge financial stretch. The average copay is just $15 a session, and they match you with a therapist based on what you actually need, not just whoever has an opening, with appointments often available as soon as tomorrow. Thousands of parents are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance, helping them show up for their families. And so can you. Visit rula.com/NGM to get started. That's RULA.com/NGM.
Defiance. This
Yeah.
is what they need to develop. This is how they come into their own identity. It's how they learn to think for themselves. So when we get mad at our kids for basically doing what they need to do to become an adult, it makes no sense. Is it frustrating for us? Yeah. Would it be
Absolutely.
easier for us if they just did what we asked? Yes, but that's not our job as a parent. That's just
Mhm.
making our lives easier. That's what that's doing. It's not helping them.
Do you have like a go-to phrase when your teen starts pushing back? I ask this because anytime like I find the resistance in my daughter and I'm like, oh, she's resisting me, I'm like, okay. And I like turn around and go out of the room because I know like fighting with it doesn't help. Like, do you have any go-to thing that you go to?
Here's what I do, and I notice, and of course, I've done this for a living, so it's fair that I do this and other parents don't do this, but that's feedback to me. That's information. If I'm talking and my daughter's starting to resist me, I don't get mad at it. I look at it and go, okay, what's going on here that she's feeling resistant to what I'm saying? Like, that's really helpful information. She respects me completely. So if she is resisting, something's going on. I get curious. I notice you're resistant. What's going on? I notice if is this not a good time? What is going on? That helps me understand. And that changes everything because
It
then she can
does.
share with me what's going on and we can go, oh, that makes sense. Okay, let's do this. Or how do we do that? Right? So, and that's the mutual respect. It's respecting how she is and what she needs and how she's feeling in the moment without saying, I want it done now. I don't care what you're doing, where you are, how it is. I want it done. So it has to be done. That is not mutual respect. It just isn't. And when we say, hey, I really need help with the trash, when can you take it out? Or what I like to do is, do you want to take the bag out and tie it up, or do you want to take it downstairs? And the reason I do this is because now one of those tasks is far more appealing than the other task. So she's going to do that task and feel like she won because I do the other task, right? She's helping. So I think when we understand that this resistance is necessary, is biological, it is not personal or intentional, and we understand that they have to learn, which means giving them opportunities to learn, which means they're going to do it poorly and being okay with that. Let them do it
Yes.
poorly. That's okay. They're going to do it better and better next time because they're going to learn.
Yeah. Now, there was something you said in there where you're like, I know she respects me. There's a lot of parents out there who don't feel that their kids respect them. Like, what would you say to them to kind of go on that path of believing their kids respect them or changing that?
I love this. This is the foundation that I find is where most parents get frustrated when they try to take advice or try to take scripts or try to take anything that somebody tells them, this will work, and it doesn't work. And the reason is the foundation isn't there. And if there isn't a foundation, of mutual respect and trust and emotional safety, nothing you do is going to be received the way you're intending it to, because your kids are automatically going to be resistant. So the first thing we always need to do is, if our kids are constantly disrespecting us and then constantly saying things like that, we got to take a step back and look at, what is this relationship? How am I defining the relationship? How am I showing up in it? Am I showing them respect, or am I just demanding respect back?
That is a
Right?
good question to ask.
Right? Because if we're demanding it back, the fastest way to lose respect is to demand it. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's not how respect works. There's no such thing as demanded respect. Respect is something that's grown. It's something that's nurtured, right? It's something that's earned in a way. And so we need to start by mirroring and showing them what it feels like to respect somebody and be respected by respecting them. This
Oh,
does
yes.
not mean we take them treating us like crap. That's the other thing we need to do. We need to set boundaries. But parents get confused. They think boundaries means telling them what they're allowed to do. Don't you do this, that's my boundary. A boundary is something that I protect. My
Mm.
teen doesn't have to do anything for me to protect my boundary. So if my teen's talking to me in a way, and this happens, she respects me, but does her tone go off? Yeah. When she's tired, when she's frustrated, when I'm tired, when it will go off. And so when that happens, I'll stop and just say, I want to hear you. Where we're at right now, the tone that's going on right now, I'm just gonna let you know it's not gonna go well. Like, you're not gonna get the response from me you want. Or I'm gonna step away for right now because I'm gonna start getting irritated too, and I see you are. So I'm just gonna step away because I'm not okay with this right now. Or I'm not
Yeah.
okay being talked to that way.
You're setting your boundary based on, like, how the tone is that she is talking to you. You're refusing to listen to that tone. Yeah, and
Correct.
leaving.
You can continue being emotionally dysregulated.
Mhm.
It takes you time. I get that. And I understand that your tone is because you're emotionally dysregulated. I get that too. It doesn't mean I'm okay being talked to that way. So you do what you need to regulate. I'm going to step away so I don't make things worse. And when we're ready, we'll come back.
Yeah, you said two really powerful things there about first, like, you can't demand respect. Respect is earned, and you earn it by showing the other person respect and showing basically how you want to be treated, but also
Yes.
creating the boundaries so that if they do step over the line about how you like to be treated, you tell them, you communicate with them, and then you take yourself out of the situation.
And my daughter knows now. She knows. And that doesn't mean it doesn't still happen. I do it too. I can get snarky and snappy when I'm emotionally dysregulated. It's the same way. It's the
Right.
exact same thing. So if she says, I'm going to leave the room, do I get mad at her? No. That's
Mhm.
smart. Instead of
Yeah.
being like, "You can't. Where are you going? You can't." No, that's smart. She's learning from me to set her own boundary. Yay.
Yes.
Please, please, please teach your kids to have boundaries and to communicate them clearly and kindly and confidently, because that's what we want our kids to do. So when we do that, we're teaching them, if they want to talk to me, this is how they need to talk to me to be respected. I haven't
Yeah.
said you have to. They just know they have to.
Absolutely. And that kind of brings me to the point of I have heard stories of parents punishing their teens and kids for talking to them disrespectfully.
Oh,
And
every day, every
all the
single
time.
day.
You actually talk about behaviors that parents often punish that are signs of healthy development. What are some of these signs of healthy development that parents
Well,
often
that's one
punish?
of them. That's one
Yeah.
of them. The pushing back is very healthy, right? So
Yeah.
when we punish them for basically having a voice,
Mhm.
sure, their tone is off because they're emotionally dysregulated and they're still learning to communicate. That doesn't mean we punish them, because that doesn't teach them to have a better voice. It just says your voice doesn't matter, is what that
Mhm.
says. That's
Yeah.
not a good thing. That does not build respect or emotional safety or trust. None of that. The other thing is, it doesn't teach them how to do it better next time. What we want to do is say, I hear what you're saying. I want to hear what you're saying. Is there another way you can say it? I hear what you're saying. When it's being said at that loud voice, I am struggling to hear it. Right. So we're saying, I want to hear you. Let's figure out how to say it in a way that I can hear you. Right. I'm not judging. I'm not upset. I'm just guiding.
Guiding, you're teaching, you're leading them in the direction.
Right. Because here's the trick. as adults, and one of the biggest things I teach all the parents that I work with is the number one thing they have to first do is learn to regulate their own emotions. Because
Absolutely.
if you cannot regulate your own emotions, you are not going to have a very good interaction with your child because your child is still learning to regulate their emotions. You've had time. So if you can't, there's no way they can. And if you're bringing in your own dysregulation, you're just making it worse because you're fueling their fight or flight and it's escalating. So we cannot go into a situation with our teen dysregulated. So you have to learn to regulate, or you have to learn to remove yourself and say, I'll be right back. I put myself on timeout when my child was younger. I'm like, I need to step away, take a breath before I go because I can feel myself getting heightened here. That's
I did
normal.
the same thing. I went to hide in the bathroom, or if my husband was home, I'd be like, tap out. You're in.
Yeah.
Get in there.
So the thing is, I'm not expecting parents to become parents all the time. I'm not expecting parents never to lose their shit. We're going to. The difference is I'm going to recognize that. And as an adult, I'm going to go, I need to regulate right now. And I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go do that first.
Yeah. So like the first step being regulate your own emotions. Try to
Regulate your own emotions.
get
Yeah,
yourself online before you go and talk with your kid.
correct. And be prepared when you go in to talk to your kid. And a lot of my parents do this now. They go, I know this is going to be challenging. So I'm going to take a moment right now. I'm going to go grab a glass of water because I know that if I'm getting dysregulated and I take a sip, right there, that helps regulate it. So I'm prepared. I got something ready to go. We want to regulate ourselves first. And then the next thing is we need to help our kid, and we can't tell them to. We need to give our teen a chance to regulate themselves before we get into anything, because dysregulated brains do not listen or reason or anything.
Right.
So
Right.
we regulate. Us being regulated is the first step in helping them regulate, co-regulation, right? The second one is if we just go, I see.
You know what I just realized? I have trips on the calendar this summer, and I have been completely ignoring the most important question. What am I actually going to wear on the plane? Because here's the thing. I want to look cute on the plane. I don't want to be in like mismatched sweats, but I also want to feel like I am wrapped in a cloud for 5 hours. I want to be comfortable. It feels impossible, right? That is where Quince comes in. And honestly, I keep coming back to them because they make it so easy. Quince has these beautiful everyday pieces like 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops with styles starting at just $32. And everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands because they work directly with ethical factories and skip the middleman markup entirely. You're paying for quality, not a logo. I just ordered the Cloud Comfort wide leg pants for my trip, and I am genuinely so excited about these. They look really cute, and they are way, way less than similar pants I've seen elsewhere. Comfy and adorable. That is a win I did not even know I needed. Elevate your summer wardrobe. Go to quince.com/NGM for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/NGM for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/NGM.
You have one new message. Translating. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers is now available on Disney+.
You could say that again.
Critics are calling it Pixar's funniest movie ever and a wildly entertaining ride. Blizzard Potato. It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Now we party.
This is incredible!
Wow, I am clearing the rest of the day.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, now available on Disney+. Rated PG.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them, that's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
You're upset. I get it. We just label what they're feeling. We recognize it without any judgment. That right there goes, I feel seen. And a lot of times all this emotion comes up because kids are trying to be seen. That emotion means I'm not getting something that I need. Not I'm demanding. It's I am not, as a human child, getting something that I need right now to feel safe.
Right. I remember that so acutely too when I was a teenager. When I felt misunderstood, that is when I completely go like lash out, get louder, all those things.
All the time. And I mean, my mom to this day, love her. We have a great relationship, but during teen years, it's terrible. And to this day, she is determined to say I was a brat. And I understand why she thought I was a brat, but inside, I was not trying to be a brat. I was trying to defend myself and voice myself and express
Right.
how I was feeling. And that was shut down time and time and time again. And so it was. I would go through periods where I was just like, it's crushing. None of it was to try to be a pain.
No.
Ever.
I feel like that is where my little sister was. Like, she was the pushback, she was the defiance. I was the people pleaser. I would change all of my behavior so as not to cause conflict in the house or not to cause anybody any pain. And so, like, that sense of shame with me, it went inward. And I
Yep.
was just like, I have to be this certain person and show up this way, and I can't
That's
say
not
what I
healthy
want.
either.
It's not healthy. No.
No. And those are the kids that were like, oh, I have such a good, well-behaved kid. And I'm
Right.
like, that's not. That's emotionally crushing
It is emotionally
to have
crushing.
that. So I actually worry a lot more about those kids than the ones that are pushing back, because at least the ones that are pushing back are still got some like voice in them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I see in my daughter too. Like she is not a people pleaser at all. And she comes to me and she's like, "Mom, I'm such a jerk to other people." Like, I'm like, "No, you are saying exactly what you like, and I would not want you any other way." Yes, there are ways to
Yeah.
work it with people to make sure you're listening to them. That's a process. That's a learning process. But
Yeah.
saying what you want and not being willing sometimes to like move your line of boundaries or like move your expectations of something that you hold really, really dear. I mean, that's a great quality I wish I had when I was a teen.
Yeah. It's a great quality for everyone. So I think that pushback, what we see as disrespect and defiance, is really only based on what it's making us feel. It's not based on the intention behind it. And we need to
Yeah,
stop reacting to how we're feeling and start understanding what our teens are going through and trying to communicate. So
exactly.
that's the first one. I think another one that blows people away and people will question is the messy room.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a very strong philosophy on the messy room and a strong take on the messy room, and I lived it. I like things in my plate in place. I like it neat to be neat. And my daughter's room is like a hoarder's nightmare, or no, dream, hoarder's dream. And my whole philosophy with that is, in the world, there is one place that our teens have that they can call their own. One. And as humans, we need a place that we can call our own and feel safe from anything else. That's their room. If we go into that one space and we dictate how that space is supposed to be, everything about that space is no longer theirs. And now they have nowhere. Parents will take doors off of them. The kids I talk to that feel the most unsafe at home are the ones that have no ability to have privacy or have any sense of like anything. Like they feel so uncomfortable and uneasy at home. And if you can't feel safe at home, there's no place that you ever feel safe. And that is like, how do you function? You can't function. So for me, my goal with my child's room was to make sure that the door was always closed when I walked by, because I
It's a
knew
good rule.
I would
Yeah.
lose my shit when I saw it because it bothered me. I'm not going to lie. It bothered me. I didn't like it. I wanted it different. I actually made the mistake once of when she was away at camp, I went in and I cleaned it out and I redecorated and I was so proud and I thought she was going to love it and she was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Right.
got it. I was like, you know what? You're right. I completely invaded your space and made it my space. And that is not cool. And it was a really eye-opening, like I thought I was doing something nice, but when I stepped back, no, it was 100% for me. 100% was for me.
It's
Nothing
interesting
about it was for her.
because it like there's something that I tell myself all the time, like, even if it upsets me, it doesn't mean it's wrong. And it doesn't mean that she is going down like this way that's like, I mean, just because she has a messy room doesn't mean she's going to be a horribly disorganized person, doesn't mean she won't succeed in life. Like, people go down this rabbit hole. Yeah. I think I learned the same thing that you learned, where my daughter was at work and she's like, I cannot find my car key. It's somewhere in my car. I have no idea. And I did agree to come and help her search for her car key in her car. But while I was in that car, there was trash everywhere. There was like everything. And so I'm like, I'm just picking up the trash and everything. And then I'm like, might as well look in the middle console. And there was all of these napkins and stuff in the middle console. And I'm like, I'll just take these out and like throw them away. She was very appreciative that I found her car key. She thanked me, everything. But then later on, she's like, where's all the napkins go? And I'm like, I'm sorry, they look like trash. She's like, no, I just take them and stuff them in there for when like I have like she gets bloody noses because, yeah, hereditary. When I have like a nose problem or anything. And so I took one of her systems and totally ruined it because I thought it was one thing and she was using it for something else.
Correct. Exactly. And I think we do as parents, this is one of the biggest things that create so much fears. We think we can tell the future.
Right.
And so we see a behavior now and we project it way into the future and say, this is how it's going to be. And I ask my parents all the time, are you exactly how you were when you were 13? Do you have the same interests? Do you have the same habits? No? Then why do you think your kid is going to have the exact same habits when they're 43?
Good point.
What they're doing and the interests that they have and the behaviors they have are age appropriate. When we're expecting them to act like adults and have the same concerns and priorities as adults do, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it does seem ridiculous.
It is, because teens need, like, this part of their life is about finding their identity.
Yes.
We by now hopefully have kind of done a lot of, we're still doing that, but they need to find their identity. That takes a lot. They need to figure out, like, people go, well, your number one job is school. No, their number one job is just figuring out who the heck they are and their identity. That is their job. School?
Absolutely.
No. If they have no identity and they have no sense of self and no confidence or nothing, who cares if they have AIDS? It means nothing.
It means nothing. And like as an educator, like I could go on to the biggest like venting session about this concentration on good grades. It does not mean anything. Nothing.
Oh, it frustrates me so mad. Makes me so mad.
If a parent is like listening to this and they realize that they're stuck in the nagging cycle, what's like the first action step you recommend them taking?
Here's the thing that parents, I want to understand. It's not to step back because parents go, well, if I don't nag, then I do nothing. And there's a middle ground. So when you nag, I want you to remember the second you start nagging, what you are doing is training your teen, teaching your teen that you are carrying the big word now, mental load, but you are the one that is taking responsibility for this task.
Right.
Which means they do not have to. And if you have trained them that you're going to constantly take over the task by constantly nagging them, they will never take the responsibility. Why would they?
True. Mm-hmm. It's much easier to have mom handle things than to take responsibility, honestly.
And here's the thing. Here's the important thing. The other thing is we nag because, and we say they're not motivated. Our kids are extraordinarily motivated. They're not motivated to do what we want them to do because it's an adult priority. Kids could care less if the dishes are clean. Kids could care less if stuff is tidy. That is an adult concern. So expecting them to prioritize that over the things that are age-appropriate concerns of theirs is also silly, right?
Yes.
So that doesn't mean they don't help. They do help. But we want to frame it in terms of teaching them skills, not responsibilities of the like pay for the bills. So you owe me to do this. No, they don't. You're the parent. You owe them the house. That's part of your job. That's your responsibility. They don't earn that. But I want to teach my kids skills because I want them to go in the world and know how. So my daughter's been doing the laundry since she was like 9.
Yep,
Her
same over here.
laundry, not my laundry, her laundry. If her laundry didn't get done, she didn't have clean clothes. If her laundry didn't get done, I still had clean clothes, right?
Exactly.
She's
Getting
been
them to do
packing her
things
own
to themselves.
lunches forever. Because if she doesn't pack her lunch, she doesn't have a lunch. I still have a lunch, so it's not impacting me. I don't need to nag her, right? She learns if I don't pack my lunch, I don't have a lunch. I want a lunch. I'm going to pack my lunch.
Giving them those responsibilities early is amazing. And it's not too late wherever you are in your parenting journey to start like transitioning those responsibilities over to your kids.
But change the focus. We focus so much on their owing us and their responsibility and them not donating to the family and taking
Yes.
advantage and being entitled and taking punishments away. None of that makes them want to do chores more. That makes them want to just hide from you. But when we turn it into skills to help them become an adult, which is what they want to become, to help them show them how capable they are and to help them contribute and make them feel good about contributing, not you didn't do that well enough. You didn't do that when I wanted you to do, but focusing on what they do, it feels good. And they want to do it. They want to do it.
And they have control over it too. Like it helps them as well. Like this week in particular, I'm taking improv classes. I started in September.
That sounds terrifying.
I love it. I did it partly because it is terrifying, but I acted on stage in my teens and it's me getting back to like my roots and what I want to do.
I took clap again too, so I hear you.
Yeah. So like this week, I started at Improv 103 and our cohort decided we want 2 classes a week because we want to get finished before June because a lot of people are going away. And so we had the issue in our house. I'm like, guys, I'm not going to be here on Monday night and Thursday night. My husband, his work schedule has really ramped up and him getting home to make dinner isn't a possibility either. And so we appealed to our 2 kids. We're like, hey, like, this is the situation. We really need your help in this situation. Can one of you take one night and the other take the other night? And so my daughter, she took Monday night and she's like, can I make whatever I want? And we're like, yeah, I mean, we have this meal you can make, this meal you can make, but if you find something else, totally cool. She made us a Banza frozen pizza and then she microwaved some chicken and then she had a pack of veggies that she had as well and like served these little plates. And I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. And she was so happy to contribute and to like prepare a plate for me. It's just amazing the things when kids learn the skills and when they get an opportunity to help out versus saying it's your responsibility. Like everyone wins.
Love it. And the difference is, and what I see parents do a lot, and I don't know who I'm calling out with listening to this, but I see this a lot. They give their kids the tasks that they don't want to do.
Oh, yeah.
They give them the really crappy tasks. And literally, most of the time, it is picking up the crap in the yard, right? I hear that a lot, right? I'm going to give you the tasks I don't want to do myself. If you're trying to teach your teen to be responsible and to develop skills, that's not the way to do it. That's not teaching them skills. That is literally getting cheap labor to do the stuff you don't want to do.
It's true.
And again, they don't owe you for their room and board. You owe it to them as your responsibility as their parent. So let's not go with that argument because I hear that argument a lot and it angers me. I think the other thing is when we're focusing on them doing chores, we need to get very clear on the purpose. Is the purpose because we feel they owe us? Or is the purpose because I want to teach them responsibility and skills? If it's because they owe us, they're going to push back. If it's because responsibility and skills and participation and we're a family and we're a team and it's not grounded in like, I'm going to punish you if you don't do this and I'm going to yell at you if you don't, if it's they own it, which is why I give her stuff that it doesn't impact me so much. If they own it and they deal with the consequences if it doesn't get done, they're learning. They're learning.
They're learning.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of nagging that you have to do then, because if they are dealing with the own consequences, no one has to intervene.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
share this story though because like we both do our laundry and I walk by you're walking by the laundry room and I remember walking by and there was this pile of clothes on the top of the dryer and I'm like and for like 4 days I'd walk by and that same pile of clothes was on the dryer and I'm like I'm not going to nag, but I'm kind of getting annoyed. I'm not going to nag. And finally I broke down and I'm like, "What's with the pile on top of the dryer?" She's like, "Mom, those are yours." Yep,
Was your
they
clothes
were
on the
mine.
dryer?
They're mine. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I've gotten into those situations before,
Yeah,
definitely.
like, I was wondering the same thing. So,
What were you doing, Bob? I didn't want to nag you.
yeah, she was. She was like, "What were you doing?" I was getting so annoyed that they weren't there. So, I'm we don't like to do chores either. We're not great at them. I need to nag myself to do them. I mean, my freaking smoke alarm's been beeping for 4 days, and every night I'm thinking, I can't sleep. It took me 4 days to finally like get the ladder out and go do it.
Yeah.
I would have right? I would have nagged and yelled my teen for like 4 days to do it, but it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's so
It's the
funny
same thing.
because the smoke alarm beeping. So, like, my daughter, she recently stayed home alone for 10 days because me and my husband went on a trip alone to Japan for our 20th wedding anniversary. And so she got to stay home, and my son went to a grandparent's house. But my daughter's 17. That smoke alarm started beeping on the last day. And she's like, "How do I make this stop?" And it's like, we weren't there to help her. We kind of like walked her through the process. But she videoed herself actually climbing up and getting the smoke alarm detector off, and every time it beeped, you could see her jump like that. But, like, having her in that situation where she was the only one dealing with it, and she did it. She was very capable, and she figured it out, and she did it, and I think that, like, when we give kids those that autonomy and that agency, like, they go and they do the things, and they are usually amazing, and no
You
nagging is
know what,
needed.
though? You just made a really good tip that I wanna
Mhm.
make sure parents are hearing. When you are there, they're going to rely on you because they're
Mhm.
used to it.
Right.
If you remove yourself, and I tell parents to do this all the time in the morning, if they're constantly having arguments in the morning and trying to get their kid out the door and everything else, I'm like, "Go for a walk. Get yourself out of the house. Leave. Don't be there." And I do this with my kid too. I'm like, "I'm not gonna be there because my
I do
teen
too.
steps up and is far more responsible when she doesn't have me as a crutch."
Right. Right. I'm at this stage right now with my son. Like, he takes the bus in the morning, he gets ready, and right before he leaves, it's like this, "Oh my gosh, can you fill my water bottle? Oh my gosh, I'm running late. Can you do this? Can you do this?" And so, like, the other day, I'm like, "I'm gonna go to the coffee shop. I'm just gonna
Yep.
relax for a little bit. I love you so, so much, and I will see you when you get home." And he took care of
Yep.
everything. He was fine.
Of course he did. Of course he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So, leaving parents right now, I wanna know, like, what's something coming up for you that you're excited about?
For me personally, here's what I'm very excited about. It is my birthday on May 1st, and I'm
Happy
going up to New
birthday.
York to see my thank you, going up to New York to see my daughter, and with
Aw.
my sister because the 3 of us go and we see shows all the time. So we're gonna go see a bunch of shows, and I get to go do a couple segments on NBC, so that's gonna be really fun too. I know.
It's amazing. That is so
Yeah.
exciting. Is this gonna be your first time doing segments on NBC?
No, it is my 2nd time now. So, yes, it's very
Well, I definitely
fun.
wanna chat about that after we get off, so sorry, podcast listeners. No. Well, thank you,
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite things is to go up to New York City and just hang out and do shows with my sister and my daughter, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, that is very exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like I have a lot to talk with you about, a lot more questions to ask you. And I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
All of
Thanks
your
for
knowledge
having
with
me
us.
on, JoAnn.
Thank you. And for everyone out there, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you, and we'll talk with you later. If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow us on social media at No Guilt Mom. You can also show your love by visiting our amazing podcast sponsors. We have a link in the show notes.